What's going on, guys? toyhuntr here. Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are reviewing Venom. Yes, I finally got out to see it, and I want to talk about it. So let's do that.
We cannot just eat people.
The way I see it, we can do whatever we want.
Is there something you want to tell me?
Nope.
Look into my eyes. Cooperate, and you just might survive.
How are you doing, Eddie? You look terrible.
Oh, I have a parasite.
Venom.
All right, so my initial reaction walking out of the theater, general thoughts, I had fun. I had fun. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was entertaining. Now, with that being said, does that mean it was a great movie? Hell no. Not in the slightest. But a movie is supposed to be enjoyable, be entertaining, and if you have some fun with it, you can have some fun with it. So once I got to the point to where, scratch that, once the movie got to the point to where it decided to take a direction and go there, I was all in, and then I was able to see what type of movie we were dealing with, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm accepting of this. Let's get into it. And after that, I had a lot of fun. Are there issues? For sure. But other good things? There are. So let's hop into some of those good things. The good. I thought Tom Hardy was brilliant. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan, so I may just be biased. But I think with his character, he plays Eddie Brock and he plays Venom. He does the voice for Venom. He really took a bold take on the character by differentiating the two, right? With the more menacing but sharp wit to Venom, and then the kind of the Woody Allen-esque mannerisms and speech patterns of Eddie Brock. Now, is that comic book accurate? No. But for the movie to differentiate the two and to split for the masses, fine. And I think it works. So will everyone be accepting of that? No. For some people, it might have been like, dude, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I thought it was bold. I thought it was brave of him to do it, and it's in his wheelhouse. That's what he does. He likes to take a role and you know, take a chance at it. You know, will everyone accept it? Like I said, no. But if you are willing to accept it, I think you really will enjoy Tom Hardy's performance. I think it's similar to his Bane performance in that aspect. Like if you're not okay with the way he went with the voice of Bane, you were like, screw this character, I don't even care. Like, this is just annoying, I don't like it. But if you were like, all right, I'm with it, you know what I mean? Then you enjoyed Bane. So I kind of have the same feeling with that. And his performance overall, I thought was really good. Riz Ahmed, I'm a huge Riz Ahmed fan. I thought he was all right. I didn't think he was the greatest. It wasn't bad because he's another brilliant actor. So his performance was just kind of your typical mustache twirling villain. It wasn't anything, you know, memorable. Like I'm not going to remember Carlton Drake, you know, at the end of the day. That's his character's name. He's just a regular kind of villain. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But to no fault of Riz Ahmed, I think he played what they needed him to play. And, you know, that may be at the fault of the script that kind of dives into the bad. Michelle Williams, I thought she was great. She's an Oscar award-winning actor. So she was great. And again, she kind of fell into a bit. I liked her performance a lot better than I liked Riz Ahmed's performance. Hers would be a little bit more memorable, but I think that may be because of her tie and her connection to Eddie Brock, and she's his girlfriend in the movie. So that I may have, because I was attached to Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Venom, that lent me to liking Michelle Williams's Anne Wang character a lot more than Riz Ahmed's character. So those are like the three main characters. Everyone else was pretty much side characters and not really worth talking about because nobody was that memorable outside of, you know, the couple of lines that they had. But the actors, I thought, did a really good job. The look of Venom, I thought, was really well realized, right? Even though going into it, as comic book fans, we're all like, where's the spider symbol? But then again, as comic book fans, you're like, well, I get why there's no spider symbol. There's no Spider-Man here. So, like, it makes sense. But they actually did a very good job of not showing his chest a lot. which you would think like Venom he'd be standing a lot of the time, but they didn't. There wasn't many moments where the camera was just steady on his chest, so you didn't really notice, the white spider symbol not being there. A lot of the focus was on the face and the tongue lashing out, which looked really good and looked really well realized. I thought Venom came across really well in the way the CGI worked and the way everything looked. I really liked the look of that. And the comedy of the movie. So I guess this could get into the bad. This is the good and the bad. There are moments where I laughed. Don't know if I was supposed to be laughing, but I laughed. Um, so this, I guess it could segue into the bad. Some of the jokes were super, super corny and were like trying to make you laugh. And those are always kind of the worst jokes. But again, once you kind of accept the movie for what it is, it's kind of it was definitely a throwback. It had a '90s comic book feel, and were all the '90s comic book movies great? No, but did you enjoy them? Back in the '90s, early 2000s, sure, right? So that's kind of the feel that I had with the movie, and I think once you were willing to accept that, you were good. But again, now that we're talking about the bad, that was one of the bigger issues I had with the movie. It took like 40 minutes to an hour for you to get any Venom within this movie. You saw bits and pieces of some symbiote working, but other than that, it took a while. And so like there are moments where you're like, dude, I don't care about your relationship or whether the cat likes you or not. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain moments like that where you're like, where's the Venom? Can we get into the Venom? But once Venom comes, it's a whole different movie, which I guess is another bit about the movie in the bad section, right? Is because the first half of the movie is a totally different movie. It's actually the movie they marketed, right? I believe they marketed the movie to be kind of a horror thriller comic book movie, right? With, tons of violence because it's Venom. And then, so they're teeing up to that. But then once Venom gets introduced into the movie, it turns into this kind of thriller comedy comic book amalgam kind of a thing. And so you're like, oh, right. But again, if you're willing to accept that and you're able to recognize that in the moment in the theater, you can have fun with the rest of the movie because the rest of the movie is super enjoyable and super entertaining. But if you're gearing up to be this horror, thriller, violent comic book movie and it turns into this comedy, I can totally see how you're like, what the hell am I watching right now? So I get that. I totally get that. But, the dialogue wasn't the best. So I could say another thing for the bad, the script wasn't great. But again, like those 90s comic book movies, none of the scripts were really that great, right? Right. So, Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams, had to do a lot to lift the script and the back to a little bit of the good, the relationship between Venom and Hardy and Michelle Williams' character and really tied it together. And if you bought into that relationship, I think that can help you carry the movie a bit more. Once you get past the slog of like, where is Venom? You know what I mean? And then you get Venom and then you're like, all right. So yeah, but as far as like, whether you should go out and see it, I saw it for a matinee. $5. I'm a cheapskate. What do you want from me? Even if it's a great movie, I will go see it for a matinee and watch it for cheap. But I think for this one, like, I'd prefer my recommendation would be try and catch it for a matinee if you want to see it in theaters. Otherwise, wait for it to come on Netflix or, VOD or however else you get it, torrent it, whatever. So it's not a must watch, but if you're a comic book fan, I think it's worth a watch. If you're a Tom Hardy fan, I think it's worth a watch. If you're a Spider-Man fan, well, there's no Spider-Man in it, so you probably don't want to watch it. But if you're a Spider-Man fan, do you know a bit about a Venom, so you might want to go see it just to see it. But again, I saw it for a matinee for $5, which I think is the perfect review of it. Is to, if you are going to go out and spend your money, try and catch a matinee, see it for cheap, and have a good time. Just be a little bit open-minded. I understand there's a lot of caveats in order for you to get to the point to where you can enjoy the movie. But again, once you get to that point, you will then enjoy the movie, at least in my opinion. I walked out having a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I had a really good time. Yeah, so that is my review for Venom. Let me know down in the comments below if you've seen it and what your thoughts about it. We can talk about it some more. We can hash it out. I'll get more into detail about it and do maybe a spoiler conversation on the Miniface podcast. Maybe bring on a couple guests and talk about it. People who have seen it and people who are big Venom fans who see their opinions of what they thought of the movie. But I also want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought. How'd you like it? If you're gonna see it, if you haven't seen it, why haven't you seen it? Let me down in the comments below. And if you like more videos like this and you want to see more movie reviews, please subscribe and hit that bell so that way you get notified every time I drop a brand new video. My name is Jeff, aka Toy Hunter. Until next time, peace.